If the Seahawks really are drafting the best player available, like if they go full on with that philosophy without considering need at all, you might get some really weird picks at 18. If they stay at 18 and they look at the big board and they go, this is the most talented player left. I don't know that it's going to be a center bump. I don't know that it's going to be a guard. So let's go over some intriguing names. And I just need you to tell me, like, would your head explode if they took this player, either out of frustration or excitement? I don't know. It could be either. Really capturing headlines from the Combine. South Carolina safety Nick Emmanwori. Trevor Sikkema actually mocked him to the Seahawks in one of his mock drafts for Pro Football Focus. He also broke a couple Combine records from Sports Illustrated. His 43-inch vertical was the highest ever recorded by someone weighing at least 200 pounds. He also recorded the longest broad jump among safeties and the second fastest 40-yard dash at 4.38. Basically, he's just an athletic freak.
Yeah, this dude is ridiculous. And then you turn on the film and it all makes sense. You see him break on the football, grab these interceptions when the ball's in his hand. He is trying to go to the house. I've seen a couple mock drafts, and the first one I saw has San Francisco taking him at 11. And the reason why San Francisco would take him at 11 is because Hufanga is due to get paid now. He's coming off an all-pro year, the year before, I believe, all-pro and Pro Bowl type of year. And like you mentioned at the start of the show, the reason why they're willing to get rid of Deebo Samuel is because you got to pay Brock Purdy. What do? You draft yourself a young safety to help out that defense, knowing that Salah is back and he's going to be helping out. It's the perfect situation, honestly, for the 49ers. The other one that I saw had the Baltimore Ravens taking him at pick number 27. If he is available at 27, that means the Hawks saw somebody else, obviously a offensive lineman, maybe even a quarterback that they like there as well. And then the last one that I saw was no, it was just those two. Yeah. So it was the Niners and the Ravens taking them. I wouldn't be opposed to it because if they do go that route, they're taking the best available player. So now what does that mean? You got Jay Love, Rashawn Jenkins, who's looking for a trade partner now, and you have Kobe Bryant. If they were to grab him, you got your trio of safeties that you need because we saw them play a lot of three safety looks there. I'd be excited. I'd be surprised and excited at the same time because we all know what this team needs to do, which is focus on that offensive line. If they make this move, that means free agency, they're going with a big boy.
It would be like a Devin Witherspoon move where you're going, what are you doing? You need an edge rusher. You need a defensive lineman. What are you talking about? Add to the trenches. Why'd you take a corner? And then he ends up being one of your better players. I know that there are some people that feel like he should do more, but I'm sorry. He's a Pro Bowler. He's one of your best defenders. He's incredibly versatile. I think that people are starting to key in on, well, what if Seattle takes this guy, not just because of Seattle's rich history with defensive backs, but also because they go, well, Kyle Hamilton was such a weapon for Mike Macdonald with Baltimore. Maybe Mike Macdonald needs a special weapon in Seattle that he might not have quite yet. So it's an intriguing pick. Someone else that would not help your offensive line at all, at least not by playing, Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty. He is not mocked to Seattle. He is fairly high. He's 5, at least on ESPN's big board. But being a running back, that doesn't always mean going at 5. It can mean going much later.
Mel Kiper 2 days ago, I had him at number 20 to the Denver Broncos. If Jeanty is sitting there at 18, you better take a strong, hard look at that. Because what does that mean? If they were to go grab Jeanty at 18, that means that the commitment to the run game is for real. It is necessary and it's real. And could you imagine a healthy Ken Walker and Jeanty in the backfield, you sprinkle in a Zach Charbonnet, and then the odd man out, not out, probably still be on the roster, would be a McIntosh. That means the commitment to the run is for real. And would I be opposed to this? No. I'm all for grab the best player available at this point because I feel like there's enough offensive linemen in free agency that you'll be able to bring in somebody. As long as you're not bringing in like a 36-year-old, 35-year-old like we did with Laken Tomlinson last year. No disrespect to Laken, but you want somebody who's going to be here for the long haul and be able to build. In my opinion, you need one offensive lineman to bring in at the guard position and develop the other one with either a Chris Haynes or a Laumea, a Jarrell's more of a tackle type of guy. But you got some bodies over here that you can use. Again, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be mad.
Would you be mad if chosen at 18 is ESPN's 13th best player, Michigan tight end Colston Loveland?
That one I'd scratch my head a little bit. That one.
The pause.
Yeah, I might scratch my head a little bit on that one. I just talked about how important the tight end position is going to be in this Kubiak offense, but I feel like the type of tight end that he needs in addition to A.J. Barner is out there. You can get him later on in the draft. You don't need the extremely dynamic type of tight end. You already have that potentially in A.J. Brown, I think. You need a guy who says, look, I'm just here to block. If you throw me 5 passes this year, then so be it. But my main objective is to put guys on their wallet. Big up Steve Rabel. I'd be surprised with that one.
Okay, so maybe if you're John Schneider, you move the philosophy to the side when it's a tight end. And you just go, I don't know. I don't know that I need a first-round tight end. He might be the best player technically on my big board, but I don't know that I'm going to take that guy. What about defensive line? Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant is actually on ESPN's big board, number 18.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say you move on from Dre Jones, or I know he's an outside backer, but that you deplete some veteran presence from your defensive front seven.
Well,
do you look at
Dre Jones slid into the inside as well. He was kind of doing both. So if you were to do that, again, wouldn't be surprised. I would understand it. You want to make one side of the ball that great. And the better side of the ball right now, as far as talent and consistency, the way that the season ended, is the defensive side of the ball. Mike McDonald might be looking at this defense and having flashbacks of black and purple. Not saying they're going to be that. Not going to be the Baltimore Ravens with Queen and all those guys they had over there. But no, wouldn't be mad at all. Best player available, go ahead and take him.
Well, and I feel like if they were to take Kenneth Grant or any other like premier defensive lineman, let's say, because he just happened to fall to them and was so clearly the best defensive player available, it kind of goes to the conversation we've had a million times so far about the Eagles, right? That the Eagles keep replenishing at positions where they're already elite and they have just monstrous depth, but that ends up serving them because they end up just being elite in the trenches. And maybe they have questions elsewhere, but they don't just plug and play like it's a fantasy football roster. They look for look, this is a guy we can't turn away from. We'll find a place for him.
Who's the most important position on a football team? Quarterback. And you saw what they did to the best quarterback in the game, the Philadelphia Eagles. They had 4 monsters down there that had Pat Mahomes running like a toddler when he doesn't want to take a bath.